Hey guys, Liam here from Liam and Kerry, bringing you guys another tiny house update. The biggest news, as you guys saw in our video from last week, is that we have the stairs done. So we won't show you guys all the details on how the stairs work, but they are indeed done, and it's very nice to be able to transit up to our loft here. Now, a lot of tiny houses have lofts, and when I've been telling people about our loft, they always ask, is that the bedroom? We're like, no, that's not the bedroom, it is the observation deck. But B, another person was kind of snarkily saying, like, oh, you're going to be, having a nightmare and then sitting up in the middle of the night and slamming your head into the roof. And no, you won't, because this is probably one of the taller lofts that any tiny house has employed, because it's over the truck cab. Now, I cannot quite stand up straight in here, but Kerry can stand up straight in here, and my friend Juan can stand up straight in here as well. So it's not for, many people could stand up straight in here, but it's mainly for sitting. But just for purposes of construction, it's very nice to have a stair set now. Let's go take a look down here. We originally were kind of hesitant to put a big staircase in because we wanted to use this space for our kitchen. But realistically, it's nice to have the staircase. We won't be fumbling around with a ladder or something in the middle of the night. Aside from the stairs, we have a lot of little things that we are working on in the tiny house. I want to draw attention to a couple things over here. We are completely done the floor, which is really important. So for example, we've been working on that the last couple weeks, but we've had little holes in the floor that were not fully complete. But we completed all of it, which is also really nice for construction going further, that you don't have to worry about where you step. You're totally fine to step anywhere in the house now, which is great. You can set up a ladder anywhere, whatever you need. So in here, we have one of the in-floor cavities. This one is not particularly earmarked for anything yet. It'll probably just be for like storage of like bulky items, like potato. I don't know. I was thinking like a sack of potatoes, but it just comes up easily, and you have access to the cavity in there. A lot of these cavities, like we said in the previous video, they're not super well spray foamed, so they're kind of cold. That's another nice thing about having all of the floor in place, is that there's no longer a bunch of air leaking out. So that's super nice. My friend was helping me out to get these all done. We similarly finished up this section up here, which has a lot of utilities running under it. We'll show you in a second, but there's also a floor cavity in here. Let's remove that. So this is another storage bay, but it has some utility stuff at the front, like the shore power hookup and stuff like that. You can't really see that, but and then in here, this is our water treatment bay. I think we've shown that before. So our water oil separator that helps us with water treatment, it can actually, if it needed replacement or something, it can actually fit through here. And a couple of small gray tanks that we'll have, they'll probably sit in here as well. And so everything has to be designed to fit through this hole and go in there. And this bay extends quite a ways back there and then up here as well. But this is the access to take anything in or out. Here is a shark bite connection for our in-floor heating. Just part of the runs for the main floor were kind of long. So this connection is joining them so that they weren't too long to put through. These are some of our in-floor heat exchangers. We're adding these every so often. But yeah, that's this section of floor. Let's put the cover back on. Oops. Now, this section is also one of the last sections to be added in. There is a lot of the house right under this section of floor. We're not going to pull all of it out because we're going to be working on this and making videos in the future. But a lot of our PEX lines are in here, and we also now installed our 1.5-inch drain pipes into the floor. So once I had all of that done, I was like to my friend, okay, let's seal up the floor, let's get it done. And that's just really nice, like I say, because we need to work in here. We need to have solid floors to put ladders on and whatever we need. But in here, some of this is for the in-floor hydronic heating. The 1/2 inch is for that. The 3/4 inch is for in-floor hydronic heating for the slide out, which will be attached via quick disconnects. And then we also have a 3/4 inch PEX supply of fresh water to the slide out, which will also have to be connected by a quick disconnect so that you can slide it back in. And then our 1.5-inch drain, like I said, it's going to connect to the water oil separator. We have some wiring going through here too, like this is the supply for the shore power. Let's take a look over here at the stairs. This stuff we did not show in the short, but this section, the real reason it has to come off, in addition to being a nice footstool or a footstep, is so that we have access for the slide out to slide through here. We had the option of making the stairs just steeper, but when I was doing the math, I was like, it'd be kind of nicer just to do that last step removable, which it is, and it's not too big. So the slide out is right here, so it needs to be able to move through here without interruption. A nice thing about this as well is that right under here, we have where all the connections to the slide out are going to be. So similarly here, there is the 1.5-inch drain pipe. Do you want to get a shot inside of there? There's the 1.5-inch drain pipe inside of there. It's just out of view right there. And then this is our fresh water for the slide out, and hydronic heating hot water, and hydronic heating return line. Don't ask what are the reasons for the colors. It's a little bit random. You just need to know that they're different colors. Now, another thing that we needed to build into the house was under the stairs here, we needed to have access to stuff further up there just for maintaining the house. So this cover can also come out. It's a bit of a press fit for now, but that's how it works. This house is built a little bit like I imagine a boat would be built. This just stuff is just going under the floor wherever it can go. We need to make the living space as usable as possible, but we also need to have spots for drains, for water, for electricity. So stuff is kind of all over the place. But in here, this gives us access to a P-trap for the drain, so we can empty out the water that's in this pipe if we think it's going to freeze or we have to go away for the winter. So we have access to drain equipment here. This is the fuel line. I believe we showed that in a previous video, but if there were ever a leak or something, we'll need to cut that spray foam away and redo that section, which is completely possible. We have access to it, so better that we leave that there. So this bay, this is an in-floor bay here as well. It's primarily dedicated to this type of utilities right now. And then we're thinking, you guys let us know what you think, but this step here, we're thinking maybe we'll add a drawer into this one, just to have some extra storage space. But that's pretty much the updates that we have for you guys right now. We're at a really cool point in the tiny house where now that we're done the floor, we are going to start doing the walls. So it's going to start looking a lot more like a house within the next month or two. So we hope you guys join us for that. Remember to subscribe and hit that like button, and check out our short if you haven't, our previous video from last week. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye.